Over the past few weeks, we've been asking you guys to share your stories of hope with Cadbury Dairy Milk because we believe that there is a story in everyone. And South Africa, you have responded and not disappointed. The stories have been streaming in from all over, and we are so excited to announce that 5 of the top 20 most inspirational stories have already been selected for the compiled ebook that's going to be shared with orphaned and vulnerable children. Now, one of these stories and one of these entrants, Paul Lentu, now joins us this morning to share his tale of hope and tell us a little bit more about what inspired him to submit his story. Paul, a very good morning. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Paula, let me start off by saying congratulations for having your story out there. But let's take it back a moment. How do you know when you have a story to share with the world? And what made you share yours with the Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half project?
Well, I always have a story to tell. I'm in marketing, so storytelling is my daily bread, you know. Cadbury initiative is very inspiring. So I saw an opportunity to have fun and potentially make a change and be meaningful in somebody's life through my story.
I love that, and it really is going to someone incredibly special. I just personify that orphan that's going to be reading this story. That makes the whole process so much more authentic and special. Maybe you can take us through the process of actually writing that story down, that narrative. What inspired you to tell this particular story?
Well, my biggest inspiration when it comes to storytelling remains the African tales that we were told when we were kids. You know, those stories where animals could talk to each other, could talk to humans. There were a lot of very nice and magical things happening. So I feel like they always presented the essence of Africa, its uniqueness, its wisdom. And I try to emulate that in all the stories that I tell myself now.
That's beautiful. What would you then say is, the most inspirational part of your story that maybe you hope will inspire our orphaned and vulnerable children?
Well, without giving anything away, I would say is the part of the foster family. They play an important and positive role in that story. And by that, I wanted to show the kids that they can love, they can allow themselves to love, they can allow themselves to trust. And I hope to keep or restore faith that they have in humanity.
I'm sure just going through the writing process itself must be cathartic, and you must be incredibly proud of your effort. But now, having been recognized in this way, how does it feel to know that your story is going to be a part of this very special ebook that's going to be shared with orphaned and vulnerable children who desperately need to feel that love?
Yeah. I think it's one of the most amazing feelings, Graham. Well, on the personal note, obviously, I'm really honored and encouraged to pursue writing, especially for kids. But more importantly, feeling that you can put a smile on the face of those kids that probably need it desperately, especially in these times that are harder for everybody. It's just priceless. It is priceless for me.
Paul, and maybe lastly, what tips and advice do you have for others out there that are struggling to get their stories down and who would want to share theirs in the future?
Well, I would say put yourself in the shoes of your audience. Ask yourself what inspires them, what makes them laugh, what gets them scared, and just try to make something interesting for them. When it comes to kids, think about the stories that impacted you when you were younger and the reasons why, and then just try to apply the same recipe to your own story.
I love that. You seem like the most wonderful human being. Thank you so much for putting the effort that you have into this process. Here's an open invitation when you're ready to release that children's book full of African stories and ready to inspire them. We'll welcome you into studio. But I got to thank you so much for joining us and congratulate you again on what really is a special achievement. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I'm a big fan of the show. It's a dream coming true.
So we're a big fan of you now, my friend. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
A special thank you to each person for showing your generosity and taking the time to write and share your stories with the Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half project presents There's a Story in Everyone, real or imagined. We are thankful for each story. We're excited to see what other stories have made it into the ebook and what the children's reactions will be. Keep your eye on the Cadbury Dairy Milk social media pages to see how the stories are brought to life.
Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half project presents There's a Story in Everyone. Visit cadbury.co.za/storytime for more information on how to share your inspirational story.